over the Easter break I had some spare time and I had a look at my best-selling Etsy product, which is this 6-stacker game stand, and I thought, how can I remix this? And so I picked up a laser cutter at the end of 2020 and I remixed it as a laser cut design. Took about 2 hours to make this and it's turned out really well.
We don't need no more, even in the hard times. You and I can weather any storm.
Today we'll be looking at my most sold Etsy product. This is a 3D printed Nintendo 64 game cartridge stand, and I want to convert it into a laser cut design, which I have done through Tinkercad. I use Tinkercad for a lot of my 3D designs. It's really simple, it's an online tool and it's free. And a lot of it is placing shapes and then taking shapes out of that shape. And I have gone a step further and from my 3D printing and created a laser cut design of my Nintendo 64 stand. That's going to be in the Etsy store, and I used my Ortur laser cutter to cut it out. Now, one of the biggest challenges I found when laser cutting was that obviously when you laser cut, everything starts off flat, and when you 3D print, it 3D prints as you see it in Tinkercad or in your model maker. And so when you're putting it together, you need to put it together in the program and then lay it flat on the piece of wood or material, and then it comes out obviously as a 3D design. But in your head, you need to work out how that's going to fit and how it's all going to go together. Now, some of the spacing on this, I've been lucky. I didn't need to use any glue on this one. Some of the spacing were a bit tight on my first design, and it was a bit too wide for what I was after. As you can see, actually that's not too bad. There's a bit too much movement for my liking. And so I did it again, and it came out really nicely. This one doesn't need any glue or anything for it to hold itself together. You just knock it together and it is pretty much stuck there, which is great. There are lots more of these designs out there. I haven't made any more of these ones, but this one is my top selling product on Etsy, and so I'm looking forward to swapping across to see how this one is received. The first designs of my 3D printed stand had space in the back for some accessories like the vibrating pack and a controller pack for memory. Now, over the iterations of making these, it was much faster to make it without this, and after some feedback I decided just to go back with the straight 6-stacker and the empty back. Now, the one thing I love about 3D printers is you can make anything. If you can design it and you know how it's going to print, you can come out with something like this and sell it on Etsy. Now, these prototypes never go out first go. This one was a bit of a shamble. It didn't cut straight, didn't cut all the way through sometimes, and I had to glue this one together because I didn't quite have the holes the right width. Now, first time, pretty good. Like, I'm happy with this. This is actually not too bad for a first go, especially for my first 3D laser cut design. Now, my second design turned out really well. I was really happy with it. After changing some of those things, like shortening this, making the holes a bit smaller, and a couple other small things, making this a bit taller, this bottom where you can see Nintendo 64, it came out really well. Now, the only thing I don't like about the black on the 3D printed ones is you can't really see where it says Nintendo 64. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, see that there? It's really hard to see. So the thing I love about these ones, and remember this is just the prototype, is that you can actually see it. And so when you display it there with all your games in it, it's very easy to see Nintendo 64. These were about 3 hours to make each, the prototypes. And then plus maybe an hour or two of changes and until you get to the final version. It can take a while and you never get it first go. Like I said, it always takes much longer than you anticipate, and if you get it first go, congratulations. Especially for a product that's never existed before. If you can make a prototype and it comes out and it works first go, that's amazing.